And it's a great day to be alive in Pittsburgh, PA. Welcome in, Stellars fans and Yinzers alike, and everybody who joins us. No, I was going to say every single day, but almost every single day here on Kaboly+Mack, a couple times a week. And we got to thank you guys, first of all, to the Dan Heck team, heckteamhomes.com, for being the presenting sponsors of Kaboly+Mack. You're looking to buy or sell a home in the Pittsburgh area, they are the people to help you, the whole team. I mean, they're busy. You ever heard busy out the yin yang? The yin yang. I never had it clarified, Kaboom, by my mother what the yin yang was. But when you were busy out the yin yang, or you had something out the yin yang, that meant you had a lot going on, and they got a lot of Hazes out the yin yang at the Heck team. Dan Heck team, heckteamhomes.com, HAECK. We appreciate them for being the presenting sponsors here of Kaboly+Mack, because we had a record day yesterday. Did you realize that? I know you realized it because I sent you the text last night.
No, I didn't realize it until you sent it to me.
Yeah, yesterday, our biggest day on YouTube. We thank everybody who shares the link every time we put it out, the lives, all that kind of stuff. We've had bigger live days on X, on Twitter, on that live stream. But yesterday, the biggest day we've had on YouTube to date. And it's the middle of May, and there's not really much of anything happening.
What was my response? Why?
Why? Why? What happened? Did one of us do something wrong? Why is everybody watching yesterday? Well, we did recap rookie minicamp a little bit, and we kind of had one final once over of the Pickens deal and how everybody in the building reacted to it. If you missed it yesterday, by all means, go back and watch. Kaboly told us about how he used to find prom dates in the Yellow Pages. The Yellow Pages.
I didn't go to the prom.
I heard something different yesterday. The Yellow Pages kids were a thing where you would search for businesses' phone numbers. So imagine Kaboly searching for a date in the Yellow Pages. But no, seriously, thank you to every single one of you. We're now up to 1,349 subscribers on YouTube as well, which means 151 more to go. Less than that if you're not watching this live. And we'll get to 1,500, and we'll give away the autographed Pat Fryermuth Penn State helmet. Things are going good for what is otherwise a slow time of year here, Kaboom.
Hey, Miss Davis, you go prompt me.
You know what they say, the older the berry, the sweeter the juice. Blackberry, you fool. Yeah, she blacker than I'm too. So
you know what? You're not a varsity blues guy?
No, I went towards Friday in that direction. I am a varsity blues guy, but that also made me think of Friday. And what was I? Oh, I know what made me think of Friday, because my son wanted to watch that show Receiver on Netflix the other day.
Oh,
came out a couple years ago. It was the 2023 season. And at the very beginning of one of the first episodes, Deebo Samuel's explaining how he got the name Deebo, and how when he was a little kid, he liked to sort of bully the other little toddlers. Yeah. And his parents called him Deebo because he would bully the other little toddlers and take things from them, just like Deebo in the movie Friday. And my son saw the clip of Deebo riding up to Craig's house, and Craig and Smokey sitting outside, and they take all their jewelry off and hide it underneath the table. And I had to explain to him that he's got to wait a couple more years to watch Friday.
You're speaking Spanish to me. I don't know. I've never watched that.
Wait. That is a mid to late 90s classic. Friday, Ice Cube, Chris Tucker.
I grew up in Bell Vernon in the Mid-Mon Valley. What does that have
to do with it?
We typically didn't watch movies like Friday.
Wow.
Maybe in Baldwin, or what do you call it, Whitehall?
I didn't grow up in Whitehall. I grew up in North Baldwin. Anyway, I gave it a 10. A fucking 10. So back to varsity for that reference, and away we go. We're going to give an official prediction week by week, each of us, on what the 2025 NFL schedule is going to look like for the Pittsburgh Steelers. A bunch of games have leaked out already or been officially announced, mostly official announcements. People have their theories about when the Steelers are going to play certain opponents. We have the list of opponents. We have the list of games that have already been scheduled, including this morning, the announcement that they will be facing the Minnesota Vikings.
I thought it was supposed to be Aaron Rodgers was supposed to sign today. I thought I read that on the Twitter machine. Wait, what?
Soon enough.
Something else happened?
Soon enough, Kaboom. Aaron Rodgers will sign. Thanks as well to our friends at Southwest Greens. SouthwestGreensPA.com. Look, if you're tired of doing the lawn work, if you're tired of spraying for weeds, if you're tired of thinking about what the water bills are going to look like later in the summer when you got to water it constantly to keep it alive, if you're just tired of all the work on the lawn, or maybe you just want a little corner of it taken care of, or maybe you practice the golf, a little putting green, or where the kids play around the swing set, an area around the pool, whatever it may be, they'll come out and give you the best looking lawn in the neighborhood with the least amount of maintenance. Yes, an artificial lawn that looks and acts real, great for the kids, great for the pets, and great for you because you won't lose your mind trying to take care of the lawn anymore. Southwest Greens, tell Jake we sent you, southwestgreenspa.com. So the announcement was official probably an hour ago that the Steelers will play the Vikings in Dublin, Ireland. Kaboom. And then the following week, the Vikings have to go over to London to play.
I'm guessing they're just making
the Browns.
Browns. I'm guessing they're just taking the old train over, maybe. Or I guess you can't take the train. The what do you call that? Is there something that goes underwater there?
No.
What do you call that? The channel, whatever.
There's a ferry, I think.
Maybe they're taking the ferry. Maybe. It's not that far.
No, you probably just fly from Dublin to London. You don't take a train underneath the Isle of Man or whatever that is there. No, you fly, I would think. But they'll already be over there. And I'm sure there's some sort of back scratching coming back the Vikings way. With some
London was that far away.
Yeah.
It's 500 miles. I thought it was just right across the old Bering Strait.
I thought it was like North Bell Vernon and Rostraver. I'm
thinking like Liverpool or something like that. I wasn't thinking London. Right?
Separate Ireland.
Oh, Liverpool's right across the old bridge, right across the Mond from Ireland.
Right across, yeah. It's just like going over the Boston Bridge in Elizabeth. It's just like that. Isle of Man, pretty much the same.
I didn't think we were on the other side of the country.
Anyway, so the Vikings got screwed. That's the biggest takeaway on a national level. And it feels like we already know a quarter of the Eagles schedule because, well, we do. We know they're opening at home week 1 on Thursday Night Football against the Cowboys. We know they're going to go to Green Bay on Monday night in early November. We know they're going to play Chicago on Black Friday. We know they're going to be in Washington on the Saturday before Christmas. So Eagles fans already know like 20-25% of their team's schedule. But if you're a Steelers fan, Kaboom, there's a lot of question marks left.
Yeah.
We know the opponents. We don't know when the games are going to be.
And I thought you were talking about the Steelers there for a second.
There's a lot of confusion on your end this morning, isn't there?
I just woke up.
Did you not get the kids off to school?
Yeah, then I come back and take a little nap.
A little napper there. Okay. So here's the deal. We know the opponents. And just to review, the Steelers, obviously, the 3 division opponents home and away. We know the Minnesota game is their extra home game being played in Dublin. Yeah. They've also got Buffalo and Miami at home, Indy at home, and then Green Bay and Seattle at home. On the road, they'll go to, again, the 3 division opponents, as well as Foxborough, the Meadowlands to take on the Jets, LA to play the Chargers, and trips to Detroit and Chicago to round out the non-conference portion of the schedule. It's just about when the dates and times are now. You can only play a maximum of 6 primetime games. We know that. And look, there are other extenuating circumstances, Kaboom. Like, they ideally do not prefer, I don't think, at least the Rooneys and the folks at Heinz Field, I'll never call it Acrisure Stadium, to, for example, have a Steelers game the day after a Pitt game because the yard gets chewed up and they don't have Southwest Greens down there. At
early in the season, they try to stay away from the Buccos, so week 1 will be on the road. I think week week 2 and 3, I think the Buccos are away, but
so
unless they play a Monday night game, they could
right.
lose.
And that's a theory that's been floated out there as well, that week 1 could be a Monday night game. So let's get some of those schedule conflicts on the North Shore out of the way. Pitt plays at home in what would be for the Steelers weeks 1, 4, 5, 8, 11, which is Pitt against Notre Dame, probably a primetime game, or at least a 3:30 kick for most Panthers fans. I think they would hope that. And then what would be week 13 for the Steelers. So I imagine they would like to avoid that. Also, as you mentioned, the Pirates are at home in what would be weeks 1 and 3 for the Steelers, I believe it is. Do I have that right, or did I get that part wrong?
I thought week 3 they were on the road. No?
Now you're going to make me double check the calendar because that's very important to my predictions here. Pirates are at home in September on September 7th and September 21st. So that's weeks 1 and 3. They are home on a Monday night of week 2 to face the Chicago Cubs.
Too complicated. Just pick your picks.
I'm not making it complicated.
I'm laying
out the parameters.
Because it's like a whoopee old.
You don't even know that Ireland is a separate island.
I know. I just thought you could go across the old channel. Wrong countries.
As our good friend Brian Carruthers of Oneberg has pointed out, is from London to France.
That's close.
No, it's the other side of the island.
Oh, it was close.
Oh, my God.
Well, they should have one from Ireland to
They'll get right to work on that for you.
You should. If they can go, if you can go from under the Mon and through the Ohio River to the stadium or wherever it is, you can go under the old. You
realize this is a little bit bigger, right?
Well, you can still do it.
Anything is possible, I guess.
Hey, I see down the road here, they're putting up a 500-foot bridge to go across 51. I'm sure we can dig under too, right?
Yes. State Route 43 and the Isle of Man, basically the same.
Honestly, if it was where Liverpool is, why couldn't they take a little boat?
Because have you looked like that's?
Well, that's different. I was thinking Liverpool and London were different areas.
That's like 75 miles, I think, across the water, something like that.
I'm going to England, so I don't need to know their maps and their locations.
And it's not exactly the most pleasant water, I don't think. So
I'm sure you can swim it.
Jesus Christ. All right, let's focus on the schedule predictions before I lose my mind with you today. Thanks, as always, to our good friends at Impact HVAC. Impact HVAC on Facebook. You need your AC checked out before it gets super hot this summer, and you don't feel like just jumping in a large body of water to cool off, maybe swimming from Dublin to Liverpool or however the hell Kaboly thinks you get back and forth. Give them a call, 412-297-1852. They'll check out your AC, make sure it's all tuned up in tip-top shape and ready to go. Impact HVAC, PGH on Facebook. We trust them. Had them out here. They replaced my furnace a couple months ago. They've tuned up the AC. It's all good and ready to go for the summer. You can get it taken care of as well. Impact HVAC, PGH on Facebook. All right, week 1. Do you want to hear what my big stunning prediction is for week 1? Do you care?
A bye.
No.
That'll be stunning.
Week 1, it will be Monday Night Football, but it will not be at home. They will once again, I think this would be the 10th time in the last 11 years, open up on the road. Week 1 will be Monday Night Football at the Jets. What do you think of that?
That's too predictable. So no.
Too predictable.
Well, Aaron Rodgers coming back and going to New York. Nah.
Yeah, that's exactly why they do it.
I mean, there's 31 other teams. You're thinking, let me think here. No, they don't care.
They don't care. They don't want to get Aaron Rodgers in front of Jets fans week 1 and do so in prime time.
No, Jets stink. Steelers might stink.
You get Justin Fields against his old team. I think it's textbook. I think it's perfect.
I'm
what are you
with
doing?
You. I'm with you at the division. I'm with you in the
you got something
in the division. I'm with you
at New England
on the road, but it's a 1 p.m. kickoff, baby. New England Patriots.
Okay. All right. Week 1, boring Patriots game. Womp, womp. Vrabel against his one-time employer, I guess. There's a little.
You're having, Steelers Patriots. Come on, CBS will be drooling over that.
Steelers Patriots ain't quite what it used to be. Kaboom! I hate to burst your bubble. All right, so a lot of these, I'll be honest. There's not a shit ton of reasoning. It's just, hey, I know, both of these teams are available that week. So week 2, I think it's nice. You want to talk nice, simple, cut and dried home opener, 1 p.m. kick against the Cleveland Brownies in week 2.
Close.
What do you got?
Since I got the week 1 on the road at 1:00, quick turnaround Thursday night football.
Oh my God.
Cincinnati Bengals.
Ooh, at home on a Thursday night. Okay.
Quick turnaround.
So my theory I have the division games, and they never do it this way, but I have the division games pretty well spaced out. I have them in like weeks 2, 7, 9, 11, 14, and 18. We know the last game of the year will be a divisional game. Recent tradition has been at Baltimore 3 of the last 6 years. They have not. Did you know this, Kaboom? In the 15 years since, this will be 16 now, since they instituted you're going to finish against the division, everybody plays their division in the final week of the season deal, they've never played at Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. So
Cincinnati is a very early December match, game all the time, a lot of times.
Good point. Like mid-November to mid-December. That's a good. Yeah. All right. Week 3.
I didn't pick them there, but whatever.
You didn't? Okay. Week 3, I have them in prime time again. Sunday night football on the road at the Bears. Aaron Rodgers back to Chicago against the fan base.
Wait. You're going week 3, followed by then going to Ireland the next week?
Yeah.
Wow.
You think they care?
Well, they care enough to throw Jets and Aaron Rodgers, but don't care about going on the road than on the road for you.
Yeah, you're right. Did you see what their schedule looked like last year for the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season?
They're going to Chicago, then they're going to turn around and fly to Ireland. Oh,
yeah. Pittsburgh's on the way to Ireland from Chicago. So week 3, I got them at the Bears on Sunday Night Football. What do you got?
I got a strict 1:00 game at the Detroit Lions. A little quick hop, skip, and a jump up the road.
Okay. Minimize the travel.
Be home by 6:00, 7:00, and get ready to fly out. I don't know when they would fly out to Ireland.
They typically send them over pretty early in the week, don't they? Like Monday or Tuesday?
Last time, Tomlin was a hard ass and thought he would just show up on Friday because I think they're required to show up on Friday.
I don't think the league lets them do that anymore. I think the league wants them there on like Wednesday and Thursday for like media availabilities and stuff.
Let's hope not.
You going?
We'll see.
Come on. Your boy Pat can send you.
I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow.
Fair point.
September 28th.
Right. So with the international game in week 4 against the Vikings, Croke Park in Dublin, I imagine we both have them getting the bye in week 5, right? I don't think they're going to turn that.
No, I do not.
What? You have them? Have them refusing the early bye after
the Baltimore Ravens didn't do it last year. I think they'll come home.
Okay.
I think they'll come home and play the Miami Dolphins.
At home against Miami in week 5.
Week 5. Nobody
Major swerve by you.
No, that's not necessarily the case anymore where you just automatically get the bye when you go over there. So look at the Vikings. They don't get the bye.
Give me a little tease here. Where does Kaboom have the bye? Later in the year?
Oh, right after that, week 6.
So you think they'd rather have it? Okay. I mean, I guess. See, I would think that if they're going to pass up the bye in week 5, they would want to do it in order for some kind of guarantee that they can get it later in the year.
I don't think they can pick where they want to have a bye at.
I think the whole thing's a negotiation. Are you kidding me?
No.
Yes, it is.
I don't think so.
These guys print out like 83,000 permutations of the schedule.
Yeah,
You're
but
telling me they can't adjust it a couple of things to ensure that a team gets a bye in the right, in a certain window?
Imagine 30 different teams with different availabilities.
Not all 32 created equal, kaboom.
Well, sometimes when you throw in a million different options, only one pops out that makes sense.
Okay, so you have them getting a bye in week 6. I have them. We didn't plan this, I swear, playing the Dolphins at home. So we just swapped weeks 5 and 6, basically. I have them getting the bye after the trip to Ireland and then playing the Dolphins at home in week 6 because week 6, they cannot play the Jets and they probably wouldn't be available to play the Browns, or the Browns wouldn't be available to play either because the Browns will be coming off an international game in week 5 of their own against the Vikings. All right, that brings us to week 7. Week 7 probably can't play the Jets. I've already ruled the Jets out because I got them opening against the Jets, but probably can't play the Jets because New York will be coming off their London game. You'll have them coming off a bye. What do you have in week 7? Because I have them on a Sunday night at home against them dirty birds, the Ravens.
Boy, you put way, way too much effort into this.
You said to do homework.
Yeah, I said homework. Actually, write them down. I'm not saying, well, this team, the monster rallies in Cleveland that day, so they can't play there. And historically, it rains a lot on February 9th, not February, October 13th, so they can't play in Miami that day.
So hold on. I want to be clear. Homework for you is just writing something down on a piece of paper. Not putting any thought into it. It's just enough that you write it down.
I put thought into it, but not like you did. Like, wow, they're not going to play this team because this team's got to play a division game.
All right, well, who the hell do you have them playing in week 7 then?
Got them going to the Chargers.
Ooh, okay.
After a bye week, let's head to LA. That makes sense.
Okay. All right. That works. Week 8, I give them that tired, old, boring 1 p.m. kick in Foxborough at the Patriots. What do you have in week 8?
At the Cleveland Clowns.
Ooh, okay. So back-to-back road games there off the bye.
I do not have them a prime-time game. We're going to start hitting some prime-time games coming up now after this, maybe.
Okay. All right. Week 9, I have them at home against the Cincy Bungles. Week 9, what do you have?
I got them at home on Sunday Night Football against the Green Bay Packers.
Ooh, that's a big one. That's a big one. That would be week 9 would be, let's see, that would be November 2nd on a Sunday night against Aaron Rodgers' old boys, the Green Bay Packers, at Heinz Field. I'll never call it Acrisure.
I know you said that once or twice before.
I say it every time because I refuse to say Acrisure Stadium. It's Heinz Field.
Do you call it PPGP, whatever arena?
Paints Arena has had like 6 different names, hasn't it? Like it was Consol Energy Center. It was it like it was something else for a while, wasn't it?
You call it Falcone Field?
Yes, I still call it Falcone Field. All right, week 10. They can't play the Colts because the Colts will be in Berlin hosting the Falcons, and they can't play the Packers, although you already have the Packers off the list.
Yeah.
So because the Packers will be hosting the Eagles on a Monday night. So week 10, I have them visiting the Chargers and the other Harbaugh and Najee Harris et al. Week 10, what do you have?
I got them playing your Baltimore Ravens.
Road or home?
Ooh, where's it at now? Where's Baltimore at? At Baltimore.
Baltimore's in Maryland. Okay.
Probably like a 4:25 game, I'm guessing.
Okay. I could deal with that. Week 11, they can't play Miami because Miami will be in Madrid playing the Commanders. I'm guessing it's not a home game week 11 because Pitt plays Notre Dame on that Saturday. So I'm going to put them on the road, but not too far on the road, just up the road in the Mistake by the Lake. Week 11, I have them at the Cleve Brownies. What do you have?
I'm going week 11. I'm guessing this is still available, even though I'm going against your train of thought here. I'm having them home to Buffalo, but on a Monday night.
Okay, that still could definitely work. Gives them a day to rehab the field after that Pitt Notre Dame game.
What day is that again, though?
That would be Monday, November 17th.
Yeah, I don't think the high school games are till the next week. I don't think.
Yeah, because the next week is the weekend before Thanksgiving, so that's a good point. The WPIAL games will be on the 22nd, most likely.
Something tells me this show is not going to break any numbers.
Probably not. But I mean, we did our homework. That's the important part. All right, week 12. This is a good point by you. Probably doesn't end up being at home, but I got them at home against the Indianapolis Colts. But if that's WPIAL weekend, then maybe they're on the road. What do you got?
At the New York Jets.
At the Jets. Not in prime time, just the standard old 1 o'clock Sunday game against the Jets.
CBS is protecting it, man. They can protect a couple games.
Okay. All right.
Like, hey, we want Packers. We want whoever. Jets. Who knows?
Okay.
1, maybe 4. I mean, these are some flexible games, I believe, now, right?
Yeah. A lot of stuff is flexible. Week 13, also Thanksgiving weekend. They can't play the Bears because the Bears play on Black Friday in Philly. Okay. You caught up? You good?
Thanksgiving's that late?
Yeah, it's the 27th.
Okay.
Isn't it?
I don't know. I don't really look.
Why do you make me double check everything that I've already done research
when Thanksgiving is?
It matters because then you know what teams they can play or not play. Yes, Thanksgiving is November 27th. You make me double check stuff that I've already checked 3 times. God, it's like dealing with my wife. So week 13 is Thanksgiving weekend. Steelers can't play the Bears. Although I already have them checked off in week 3. I think they go to Detroit on Thanksgiving.
What? Thanksgiving? Yep. Kiss my rear end.
Well, I'm not making a schedule to make you happy. I'm making a schedule that I think makes the league happy.
12:30 game, huh?
Maybe. So occasionally they'll move Dallas into the early slot, depending on who the Cowboys have.
They've never moved Dallas into the early slot.
They have too. It's happened once or twice.
I think you're full of beans on that one.
Whatever. They're going to play the Lions on Thanksgiving Day in Detroit. What about you?
They're hosting the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, that's boring.
How's that boring?
It's a division game. That didn't require a lot of thought by you. You just plugged a division game in that week 13 spot.
Oh, look at the latest comment.
That's also
look at the latest
the same weekend as Pitt's final home game.
Look at the latest comment. Oh, don't the Ravens always play around Thanksgiving?
Oh, yeah. The Ravens around Thanksgiving. I mean, they play the Ravens twice every year. So, yeah, one of those games is likely to always be within 2 or 3 weeks of Thanksgiving.
I think around Thanksgiving means like a week before, week after.
Whatever. Week 14, speaking of which, I have them getting a full week off after Thanksgiving, but not your mini bye. They play on Thursday again at Baltimore on a Thursday night in week 14. There's your Ravens game around Thanksgiving, the week after Thanksgiving. What about you?
I think I have another Sunday night game at Cincinnati.
Ooh, that's a good one. You're going to have them wrapping up against Cleveland, aren't you, in week 18?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could predict that. Okay, week 15, I have another primetime game. Lots of primetime games late in the year for the Steelers. I have them at home against Green Bay on a Sunday night in week 15. What do you got?
Which week are we on?
Week 15.
At the No, they're not at Indy. They're home to Indy, right?
Correct.
In the Indianapolis Colts.
Indianapolis Colts. Okay. Week 16, they can't play Green Bay or Chicago because both of those teams are playing each other on a Saturday night, December 20th. I have them at home against the Seahawks on December 21st, week 16. What do
Me
you got?
too. How about that? It's our only.
Look at that. We agreed on something.
How about that?
We're smart guys. Week 17, which is also Christmas week. We know the Broncos and Chiefs are playing on Christmas Day, which is a Thursday this year. I think, are there 2 Christmas Day games or 3 Christmas Day games now? I can't remember.
Hell if I know.
Doesn't matter. They're not going to make them play on Christmas 2 years in a row, I don't predict. I think they play on Sunday against the Buffalo Bills.
I'm going Saturday game.
Ooh, what
at
do you got?
Chicago.
Saturday at Chicago. Okay.
This is like we're doing a fantasy football draft and you're the commissioner.
How is it like a fantasy football draft?
No, who are you picking? I'm picking this. Okay, let me write this down.
Well, this is what we said. You specifically said, do the homework.
I'm just saying, it feels like it's what it feels like.
And you're bored.
Back in the day, no, I'm just tired. Back now you just go online. We probably could have just did this online or something, right? I didn't even think about this playoff.
Yeah, but then
schedule simulator.
Do they have something like that?
I'm sure somebody does.
You also thought there was a giant tunnel that went under the Isle of Man from Ireland to England.
I'm sure if I look into it, I could go talk to the Queen of England or the King of England now.
Yeah, it's king now.
And get him to work on it.
Queen's dead. So
that's why I said king.
You can talk, but she's not going to talk back. You're talking to the ground.
Who's the king of
Week 18 at Cincinnati. I have them wrapping up.
Who is this who speaks to me as though I need his advice?
Who is this that speaks to me as if I care what his opinion is? I have them wrapping up at the Escalooser in week 18. What do you have?
The Cleve Browns, home to the Brownies.
Home to the Cleve Brownies, which, by the way, I looked this up, loser that I am. They wrapped up the season for 7 of 8 years. They wrapped up the season against the Browns from 2010 to 2017.
Yeah, and I think they fired a coach 6 of those times right after that game.
That's true.
I think they
or
did.
The week of, yeah. All right.
No, I'm pretty sure it was like, I remember a couple of times it's like the writers are like, hell with the game. We'll have a press conference at 4:30. They're firing the coach. Mike Pettin. You just go on and on and on.
Wait, hold on. Casey wants to know what the big news is that's coming out today.
I think, Casey, you just found it out. They're playing in Ireland against the Vikings. I don't know who you're following on X, but
well, we appreciate the follow if you're following us, Casey. Yeah, that's the big news. They're playing the Vikings in Dublin, Ireland in week 4.
Well, since the schedule is going to come out tomorrow, that must mean he's going to sign Aaron Rodgers because he doesn't want to go through all these primetime games that we just listed, like 5 or 6 of them anyways.
You think that's it? Yeah. So we each have them playing 5 primetime games. There's always the chance they'll get a 6th one flexed in there somewhere.
Let's hope for the flex out.
The flex out. Well, that would mean things aren't going well, Kaboom.
Well, it'll be going well for me. 1 o'clock games on a Sunday are the best of all time.
So here's as I just look at the schedule, there's not a game outside of Dublin and maybe LA. There's not a game that you can't drive to unless you drive through that big tunnel that goes across the Atlantic Ocean.
What are you talking about?
What? New England? You can go to Boston.
Yeah, I drove to Boston once with a guy.
Detroit, obviously Cleveland, Baltimore, Cincinnati, New York.
I'd like to see you drive to
Chicago.
I'd like to see you drive to LA.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Other than LA and Dublin, you can attend every game in person probably without extensive travel.
You're not driving to Chicago.
I mean, it's not a short drive.
Well, if one place you
Chicago
can get
and Boston aren't short drives, but you can make them.
One place you can get to in Pittsburgh relatively quickly via the airport is Chicago.
That's true.
So,
quick
other
little.
than that, maybe.
So that's the way the schedule sets up. our fake schedules, by the way. These are our predictions. On Thursday, we'll talk about
I already got it leaked to me. No.
What's that?
If I get like one right, I'll be lucky.
We
know I got one.
Yeah, we both got one right. We know that much. So you really don't think they're going to make a big deal? I understand your thinking that CBS is going to try and protect Rodgers against the Jets and Rodgers against Green Bay if they can. But you really don't think they're going to put Rodgers in the Rodgers back to New York in primetime if they can?
I know for a fact that the Steelers wanted Green Bay at Heinz Field. And they're like, dude, we want them at Heinz Field. We get them there once every 8 years. Mm-hmm. That's why they didn't go to Ireland. So that's one. I don't know if they would protect that or they just did the Steelers a solid. I don't know how that really works.
Mm-hmm.
But I know they didn't want to play them over there, which led to the Vikings playing over there.
Vikings got so royally screwed. That's amazing.
So, the Vikings had to sign off on that, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they had to give some. And like I said, I'm sure there will be some sort of back scratching in return late in the season with like a Thursday game into a bye or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But they'll balance it out for him somehow.
Let's hope.
I don't really care. It's the Vikings.
I mean, either. I don't care either.
So, I don't think there's any other games that have been leaked out there. And no, there's some people throwing ideas out there that are completely fabricated on social media. Very clear. Ours are predictions. Okay.
Don't talk about Pony like that.
I wasn't talking about Pony. I'm talking about some of these funny Twitter accounts that have like full graphics worked up for an entire season already. It's like,
the fake Shefties and the fake Rappaports of the world now.
No, those guys too. Yeah.
We had a fake me one time.
There's a fake Kaboly?
There was one out there and it was brought to my attention.
Really?
What's his name at the fan? What's his name?
That helps.
The photographer guy, Bell Vernon kid. I can't remember his name.
Ben Tenuta.
Ben. He goes, "Oh, did you write this?" And I looked at it. It was me like ripping on some pit guy saying that.
I do remember.
I was like, "What is this?"
That is, I do remember that now. Yeah.
I was like, whoa. I forget, it was something not very flattering towards this pit kid. And I'm like, wait, what?
Fake Kaboly accounts.
People need to get lives.
Yeah, they really do. So those are our schedule predictions. I don't think there's really anything else to talk about today, is there?
Well, what about Max Hurlman? He got signed.
Who?
The Steelers Aaron Shampkin and signed the smallest, skinniest, lightest in the way of skin color and size running back I've ever seen in my life.
They owe somebody a favor? I mean,
I remember seeing him on Friday, and I'm like, who's this kid? I guess he transferred to Notre Dame. I'm like, ooh, this dude's tiny. There's no way he's making the team. He made the team. They signed him as a tryout. Max Hurlman.
I'm sure we'll be seeing plenty of him.
The breakdown of Max Hurlman.
What what was I going to ask you? Shit. Now I completely forgot.
Speaking of that, I got my look at this. I got my passport that needs updated.
Oh, so you can go to Dublin, where they have the tunnel to England.
You know, honestly, I haven't went. I got it all filled out, but apparently I got to go purchase like a $20 2x2 picture.
They can do it for you at the post office. The picture.
No, they're still charging you $15 for a photo.
I don't think it's $15.
Oh, I don't know.
I think you're.
I looked it up. I looked it up.
Exaggerating.
They're like, no selfies allowed.
Really? Is that how they said it? Yeah. No selfies allowed. Well, yeah, because it's an official passport picture. They don't want some girl doing duck lips going,
yeah, but why can't I just do the old, it's just a racket. It's just a racket. They just
everything's a racket. I tell you,
spend
kids.
you more money.
Two things, I guess. Two other things that I think may be somewhat worth talking about. The theory out there is now. I saw. Oh, who did I see put this out there? Was it Florio? So take it with a grain of salt. That Rodgers, and I think we've kind of been saying this indirectly for a while now. The reason he hasn't signed is because he doesn't want to be a distraction to the fact that he's not there for off-season activities, right? Like he'll sign.
He said something about OTAs. I still would be shocked if he's there OTAs.
You don't think he'd put in an appearance maybe for the final weekend
OTAs.
of OTAs?
It's 6 walkthroughs. So I think he's more of a mandatory mini camp guy. Get his book and head out to Malibu and head into. I guess he can't go to a darkness retreat if he's trying to learn the playbook or whatnot. So.
No, that's the blue light is bad for you. So that would mean he'd be there the first weekend in June then, right?
Yeah, take Memorial Day off.
Yeah.
Come on back and start the season.
The one thing I did want to ask you about, and maybe we could, did anything happen before we get to that one final thing? Did anything happen on Monday Night Raw that necessarily shocked or surprised you yesterday? There's one more football thing I want to get to, but I mean, it was good. Like, really good match in the main event.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why Jey Uso showed up.
I think they're gonna build a bridge back to Uso and Gunther Part 2, is what it seems like. I can tell you're excited about that.
Yeah, it just showed up out of nowhere. I'm like, why is Jey Uso here?
I know what I wanted to mention. Rick's comment on YouTube, Dirty Dom doesn't know what a time zone is. That was a funny bit. The theory I floated out there on Twitter, I saw somebody else posted it, and I just snagged it and said I thought it was a great idea. That Dom slowly turns face throughout the course of the year. And at the end of the year, when John Cena is ready to walk off with the belt into the sunset, ruining wrestling for everyone, that Dom comes out after winning Money in the Bank next month and beats Cena and takes the title. I'm a big fan of that theory.
I see more Dirty Dom versus Ray at SummerSlam in San Diego, don't you?
That's a good one. SummerSlam's not in San Diego, though, is it? It's in New York.
Not SummerSlam.
Oh, wait.
Not SummerSlam. Survivor Series, my fault.
Oh, okay. Survivor Series. Oh, that's right. Survivor Series is at Petco Park. That's right.
I just don't know. Honestly, I just don't know where the Cena thing goes now. He got 24 more appearances. How many matches is that? Who steps up next? I mean, what opponents would you like to see? I'm guessing Cena would be one. Not Cena. Punk would be one you'd like to see, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who else would you like to see wrestle?
I mean, Cody
has to probably round it out, you would think.
Cody has to round it out, most likely. The Miz should get one more go around with Cena. I know he's not a headliner anymore, but the Miz should get one more go around. Reigns probably, right? Should get one more go around with Cena. I mean,
who would be off the table? Who would be outside the box? Would it be the Miz? Would it be
R-Truth?
R-Truth? Would it be?
Well, here's the problem.
Karrion Kross. Would it be Braun Breaker for the IC title? That would give him the grand slam of titles.
Yeah, I mean,
get Breaker the IC title. I don't know. Maybe Cena and Dom for the IC title, and he can. I don't know. I'm just trying to think where it goes from now.
Yeah, it's not real clear.
7 months.
But I mean, 23, 24 dates left in the year.
Which means probably about a match a month, maybe.
Right. So he'll wrestle the PLEs. I mean, that gives him, if a third of those are matches, then that's more than enough to get him through to the end of the year. I don't know.
TD Garden in December.
Yeah. But
I still would like to see him just leave with the belt.
No.
Done. It's his. He's
and then
the
what?
ultimate champion. Well,
What? And then you
create a new belt.
Oh God, that would suck.
What? It's not like this heel turn has been smooth.
It hasn't. That's why I think it comes back around in the end. But anyway, the one last thing I wanted to ask you about, because we haven't talked about it at all yet. This Belichick stuff is crazy. I don't know.
I'm definitely not paying attention to this. You have to.
Have you not paid? Hold on. You haven't seen anything about Belichick and his 20-something-year-old girlfriend?
You went from wrestling. I thought you meant the Bella twins.
No, Belichick. Yeah. Bill Belichick. Head coach of the University of North Carolina Tar Heels.
Leave the old man alone. He's having some fun in his waning years.
I don't think he's having fun. I think that's the problem. I think it's very rapidly approaching the point where the fun is not worth it anymore, I guess.
Was he sitting there with her old man at an event recently?
I don't know.
Creepy, because I think he was older than her.
I was going to say he'd be older than her dad, most likely.
But I let the old coot have his fun.
I don't. Here's the thing. I don't care about that. Yeah, do your thing, Bill. Get some. Go ahead.
She reminds me of you ever see the old, what was that old reality show, John and Kate +8, and Kate used to boss him around all the time before he just like snapped.
She was the original Karen.
Yeah,
Kate from John and Kate.
Don't talk. I talk to you, Bill. Did I say you can talk, Bill?
It's seriously. That's what it is, and I get it. He's having his fun, but I don't think it's fun for anybody else. Like she's, I know the reporting has been conflicting, but she's not really welcome around the North Carolina football facilities much anymore.
Who's telling her that?
Who's telling her that?
Belichick, okay, kiss my rear end then. I mean, don't you think he runs that whole football everything?
No, I think that's the whole point of the entire story, Kaboom, is that she's running everything and people are getting tired of it.
Poor guy. Can't let
I know, poor guy, because he just wants to have a little fun, like you said. Let Bill get his rocks off. Go for it, pal. But like, I think it's turned into a nightmare.
I think is
he was all in on the crazy chick when the crazy chick was fun. She's not fun anymore. I think the ass.
I think where the issue, not the issue, but at least the interest comes from was he was such a demanding guy for his entire life, and now it's like a 25-year-old's rolling him and telling him what to do. We're talking about Bill Belichick here, that one of the meanest cusses around, right?
Right. Like, what's Tom Brady think of this after just being absolutely emasculated and his self-esteem ripped to shreds for 20 years? And all of a sudden, here's Belichick just having his life ruled by some crazy 25-year-old. It's weird. It's not. I get it, but then it's also weird, Like,
it's not her first old dude, right? Wasn't her last guy an old dude guy?
Oh, really? That part? See, you claim to not know anything about
I thought you said Bella twins, not Belichick.
I mean,
you call yourself a radio host.
And why won't she talk about how they met? Like,
OnlyFans.
Where you found your prom date.
Swiping left or swiping right. What's the good one, right or left?
I have no idea. And that's not OnlyFans, I don't think. I think you're confusing that with what's the dating app? Tinder. We're old and out of circulation, people.
What's that called? FarmerOnly.com.
What?
I'm telling you, that FarmersOnly.com's really got a niche audience, doesn't it?
Yeah, you would think. Yeah.
Is it still working? Farmers Only?
I don't know. Let's look it up.
Tinder. Is that what it is? Tinder?
I don't really care.
All right.
Your
wife must be watching. That's why.
What?
I don't care. I don't go on Tinder.
I don't. Why would I go on?
You know what I realized? I go on like 2 websites, like X, Facebook, and maybe YouTube. That's my
that's the extent of your travels on the internet.
What else am I going to do? What am I going to look for?
I don't know, man. That's between you and your
Wikipedia.
Yellowpages.com to find a prom date.
How long does it take to get from London to
Hold on. I want to type something into Google here before we wrap this up.
It's like 500 miles.
How do you get from Dublin to London?
You fly. It's 500 miles.
It is, including the ferry, it is an 8-hour and 15-minute drive.
Including the what?
The ferry.
There you go. That's what I was talking about.
No, you mentioned a tunnel.
Don't I said they don't have to fly over. I said they don't necessarily have to fly.
No. You had to reconfirm that it was a separate island. Come on.
I know.
And then you thought there was a tunnel.
I was close.
You weren't, but that's okay.
Channel, ferry. What's the difference? Take a helicopter.
There's a big difference. One goes on the water. One goes under the ground.
So I thought
pretty big difference.
Hey, if you can go to the Chesapeake Bay Bridge, you can make one across the old Atlantic Ocean between Ireland and Liverpool.
You get on over there. When you're over there for the game, you explain all this to them, okay?
I'm sure it has been looked into.
Again, you explain it to them then and how it needs to get done, okay?
I'm just saying.
Just in time for the Vikings to go from Ireland to England.
Why can't it be done?
I didn't say it couldn't. I just said I didn't think it was very feasible.
All it takes is money, dude. That's it.
Money. All right, let's wrap it up for today. On Thursday, we'll be back to talk about the real schedule, not the one that we predicted, and whatever other nonsense may come about between now and then. Don't forget, if you're one of the first 1,500 subscribers to Kaboly+Mack on YouTube, you'll be eligible for that random drawing where we will award somebody the Pat Fryermuth autographed Penn State helmet. We appreciate every single one of yins, including our wonderful presenting sponsors, the Dan Heck Team, heckteamhomes.com, the key to your next door. If you'd like to be a sponsor, or you know somebody who may, don't forget, you can always reach out to Kaboly+Mack via your social medias, especially the ones that Kaboom visits on X, Facebook, or, you can always just email us. The address is right there in the Twitter account. We will do it again on Thursday. Enjoy your Tuesdays, yins. We appreciate you hanging out.